Rudy, baby.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Listography. Jason, Joe, and Krams are here. For side 3 this week of AC/DC Week, we are talking about songs that are about rock and roll. I thought this would be a good topic because on their 16 studio albums, they have 19 songs that have the word rock in the title. Seems like too many probably, but you've got a lot of classic ones like Let There Be Rock, For Those About to Rock, Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution, etc., etc. So we're going to do some more that aren't by AC/DC. Cram, you want to start it off? What do you got?
All right. There's a lot to choose from. Not necessarily with, some of them don't have rock and roll in the title, like this one, We're an American Band by Grand Funk Railroad. We come into your town, we help you party down. Not a big fan of them. I like that song a good bit, but I kind of like that idea towards the mid to late 70s where rock really took over kind of the commercial airwaves, and you have just drones of high school boys and girls in love with rock music and driving around listening to it, and I think that fits kind of that mood perfectly, you know, like that Dazed and Confused vibe, or Freaks and Geeks, I think it's in that show once. Next, I'm going to go with my favorite Traffic song, Rock and Roll Stew. You know, kind of just about them touring and this big mix of everything that goes with that. I'm going to go with a newer one, Broken Bells, The Remains of Rock and Roll, kind of about exactly what you would think that was about. And then I'm going to go with my favorite song by Boston, who I don't really like Boston very much, but my favorite song is Rock and Roll Band. I love when they're in the chorus or whatever, the guitar comes in and everything fades out and they pump in that fake crowd noise, and it's kind of about that live show feel. And my number one, I think Jason might have this too. It's going to be Rock and Roll by Ryan Adams. Great line, everybody's cool playing rock and roll, but I don't feel cool at all. Not a rock song at all. It's a really downer, sad song on piano. But I think it kind of captures a big bit of the dark side of it. Yeah, just kind of a downer. He's a rock star, but he's only got her on his mind, and he's not feeling cool. So that's what I've got. I've got a ton more, but let's hear if you guys got a lot of what I got.
How about Rock and Roll Lifestyle by Cake? Really funny sort of lampooning of the rock and roll lifestyle. It's a great tune. I've also got Glamorous Indie Rock and Roll by The Killers, a really cool B-side that's on their Sawdust record. See, I got a song that I mentioned in another side 3 recently. I've got Rock Show by Paul McCartney and Wings from their album Venus and Mars. Long Live Rock and Roll by Rainbow. Really good track. Got Ronnie James Dio on vocals. And for the last one, go super obvious, I guess, and say It's Only Rock and Roll, But I Like It by the Rolling Stones.
Okie dokie. There's going to be a lot in the comments, so that's always good. For me, let's see. I'm going to start off with, all right, well, I went a little outside the bounds for this one. I'm going to start with Detroit Rock City by Kiss, which is about going to a show, sort of, and dying on the way. Very rock and roll, and it has rock in the title, so there you go. I got one about Groupie, who wants to love a rock star, and that is Superstar by, well, I'm going to do the Carpenters version because it's the superior version. How about the downside of rock and roll? Let's go with Limelight by Rush. Too popular, man. It's not all groupies and alcohol. And another groupie song, What's Your Name by Lynyrd Skynyrd, which is about, well, it's about relations with groupies and not remembering their name and coming back to a city later and not remembering their name, but being very nice about it. How about Too Old to Rock and Roll, Too Young to Die by Jethro Tull? Because it's a cool song, and I love the intro riff.
Nice.
I had that on my longer list.
Nice, very nice.
Lightning round?
Yeah, I got a bunch.
I got a bunch too. We got a Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. I've always loved that song. One of my favorite guitar riffs. I got David Essex Rock out. I always remember, this is going to sound stupid, but I remember being a young adolescent in the 90s. Obviously, I watched a lot of Baywatch, and there's some BS music video they did with David Hasselhoff's character's son where he does like a cover of this song, just like on the beach. So weird. I always think of that when I hear this song. Anyway, I also got The Who, Long Live Rock. And I'll throw in Anyone Can Play Guitar by Radiohead. Oh, and we got to go with Oasis, right? Rock and Roll Star.
Good one. It's still rock and roll to me, Billy Joel. I love rock and roll, Joan Jett. All I Want to Do Is Rock, Travis. I Wanna Rock, Twisted Sister, Rockin' Around the Clock. Lots of rock songs, a lot of rock. Very popular subject.
I've got We Got Your Rock by Freely's Comet. There's Only One Way to Rock by Sammy Hagar. So You Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star by The Byrds. I'm Just a Singer in a Rock and Roll Band by the Moody Blues. ROCK in the USA by John Mellencamp. Let Me Go Rock and Roll by Kiss, and also probably half of their catalog. How about Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin? Rock of Ages by Def Leppard.
Mutt Lang.
So yeah, there's tons. There's tons more. So put them down in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and check out our social media accounts. You can find the links in the description. And we'll be back tomorrow for 1992. We will see you there. Thanks for watching.